Hi friends, I thought I would take you along today. I am making a rope bowl and I'm going to be using some of this jean material. I deconstructed hubby's old jeans that he gave me, and there's some spots I won't be able to use, but there are some great pieces on here. And my thought would be that in the bottom of the bowl I will cut out a circle and put that on the bottom and then start bringing up the sides, and then I will cut some 1/2-inch strips and wrap that around the rope just for some accents. It won't be all the way around, but I thought I would bring you along as I make these. I think I have enough to make 2 bowls, and I'm going to be using this Hyper Tough rope that I picked up at Walmart. It's 3/16 inch by 100 foot, 90 pound, and I have 2 of these. So I'll use that for rope. And then I picked up some navy serger thread, and I thought that that would be a great accent. And for the bottom, I'm going to use the color Toast because it matches the color of what a jean material normally uses. I think it's going to match really well. Now this is actually upholstery thread, so I hope it works. But in my sewing machine, I'm going to change out my needle real quick to a jean needle. That will help get through the thickness of that rope. And the only other thing I think we'll need are some scissors, thread, the sewing machine. So let me get set up and I will show you the next steps. Let me show you real quick. I do save the elements from the jeans, such as the pockets. These will be great in other projects, perhaps a boho purse or something like that. I just wanted to show you that. I'm thinking that I want my base to be about 5 inches. So what I want to do, I'm taking my circle cut and I'm just laying that down there. And I'm going to make a mark at the 5 inch with my fabric marker. You can kind of see the 5 inch circle here. I'm going to take my pinking shear, rotary cutter, and cut around that mark. And there's one. And you have to press really hard because it's denim. And there we have 2 5-inch circles with the pinking sheared rotary cutter. Next, I will just find some places where I can get some strips out of here, about 1/2 inch. Doesn't have to be perfect, but that's what I'm shooting for so it doesn't get too bulky. When I have those ready, I'll be back. And here are what the strips are looking like. I cut these with the pinking shears rotary cutter. And I'm just going to cut up a bunch and put them on this spool. And that way when I need them, I can just pull them off. I forgot to mention that I'm going to be using this heavy duty Wonder Under to put on the jean fabric for the bottom of the basket coil. So I need to cut out some 5-inch circles and iron them on here, and then I will iron it on to the bottom of the coil.
This type of rope has an inner core, and I like to take a little bit, about an inch worth of the inner core out when I begin a project. First I got to clean that off, and then I'm going to take a little bit of that core out of there, about an inch. It'll make it easier to start coiling. And just snip that off. And then it'll be a lot thinner when you begin coiling. And we're ready to begin coiling. And just grab some pins, and we're going to coil about an inch worth, an inch in diameter. This first part is probably the hardest part of the entire project, to get that first 1 inch coil done. After that, it's smooth sailing. And you're just going to roll it the best you can, because we will get it secured. And it gets easier and easier, just like that. And that's about an inch, inch and a half. And we'll just stick some pins in there. Just to hold that to get us started. And as many as you want. I tend to use a lot of pins. There you go. We're ready to sew that.
Just some helpful tips. You want to make sure that you have plenty of bobbin thread ready to go on your main color, because you're going to use a lot of thread for a rope bowl. And to get started, I will make an X in this coil just with a straight stitch, and then we will begin a zigzag stitch, and I'll show you that when we get to the sewing machine. And then I'll do a zigzag stitch at the widest width. Let me see what mine goes up to. Mine goes up to 5, so I'll be using a 5 width on my zigzag. But let's go ahead and get that X. I will try to get you to the sewing machine so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to put an X on my little bit of a coil, and this coil is about an inch or inch and a half. But this is just to get us started. And just take it easy, because it's going to be hard to get through because it's so thick. You may have to guide it a little bit, and hopefully you can see that. And we'll back tack. And pull that out. And that's that pretty blue that I'm using. And if you want, you can put several X's. It's just a personal preference, just so that we get that stable. And then we'll come and make one more here. And that was the hardest part. What I need to do is just snip all my strings. Our strings are all cleaned up. So we'll take out our pins. All we're going to do is sew a coil until we get to the size of our circle. You always sew with the coil on the left and your working cord on the right. And you can see I'm just keeping, I have my center mark in the center of my coil, and I'll just keep going around until I get to this size of the circle, and then I'll be back. Okay, I peeled off the paper, and I made sure that I had this where I wanted it, kind of centered. I'm putting this paper back on so I don't get sticky stuff on my iron. And we're just going to iron that denim right on the bottom. And I'm trying this for the first time with you, so there's no guarantees. I just have a vision, and a lot of times that's all it takes, but not always, right? We're going to let that cool. So this has been ironed on, the denim onto the center. Look how pretty that thread is. I just love that. And all I'm going to do is take a decorative stitch in a circular motion just for added protection. Plus it'll be pretty too. And then we're using a different color thread. Okay, So I finished my decorative stitch in the center, and I did do a straight stitch around the edge. I just want to be sure, but I think that this is turning out so cute. That is going to be a great bottom for a bowl. And now I will switch back to my navy blue thread. I'll go around once, and then we'll start building the sides. And as we go along, I'll be using the trim that I made to add to, just in random places, to add a little decorative element as well. We're going to start where we left off with the blue. I've got my blue thread back in and we're ready to go. We're going to go around once, and then I will start building the side. I did not get where I started to build the wall, but I went one past, and I think I showed you that, and I've already began to build my wall, and I'm just holding my bowl up as far as my machine will allow, and you can kind of see how we're starting to get the wall on here. After a while, you'll just get the hang of it. You'll get a rhythm. I just know that I keep my finger here. I keep my eye on the center of my foot, and I'm just holding on to this to build my wall. This is the point where I think I want to add a strip of fabric of the denim from our strip pile here. So I'm going to take one, and then we'll wrap this around. And it's going to add that rustic, ragged edge look in certain spots. I think I'm only going to put 2 strips for the whole bowl. It's kind of thick, so we'll see how that works. I'm going to grab a clip to hold that down here, and we'll see how this goes. And then we'll have to come and catch right here. And that's going to be thick coming around there again. So I just got to make sure that I'm holding both of those. looking good so far. And then pinch that together. And I think we got it. All right, I'm going to finish this up. And I'll come back and show you how I'm going to do the handle and then a finishing touch. Okay guys, I'm getting ready to put the handle on my basket, my bowl. I have my base at 5 inches, and then I measured and I wanted my bowl to be about 4 inches tall. And so now I'm getting ready to do the handle, and I'm just going to do a simple handle like this. Hopefully you can see that. Maybe if I put a pin in there. Yep, just like that. It's just going to be a simple handle like that. And then I'll come over here and secure it. I'm going to cut this at an angle. And I'll show you how we're going to hide that. Okay, so I'm here and I'm just going to do a back stitch. And I just stitch across. And then I'll cut over and catch that. If you need an awl or something to bring that together, go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to do a back stitch right there. Pull out my pin. And I'm not worried about how that looks there, because I'll show you what we're going to do. Back stitch. And here we have our bowl. I think it's really cute. And there's the handle. And what we're going to do is reuse a belt loop. Hopefully you can see that. From the jeans. And that will hide that imperfection right there. And I think that will be so adorable. And then it'll come down like this. So I'm going to switch over to my gold thread, and I'll be right back. After thinking about how I was going to add this, I decided I'm just going to add it with my Fabric Fusion. Since this already has gold thread on it, I am just going to glue that on there and then use one of my long clips to hold it to let it dry. And we'll see how that holds up. This is pretty good glue, so it should be fine. All right, let's clip that on there. And let me get cleaned up here, and I will show you how this turned out. I'm going to be making another one, but I'll trim off all the threads and try to get a good picture for you.
I absolutely love how this turned out. The accents of the scrappy jean strips, the jean loop, the colors of the thread, and the bottom of the bowl. With just some simple scraps that you already have, some rope, and a lot of thread, you can make all kinds of bowls, simple bowls, little ones, but something to add a little rustic touch to your home, and they can be used for so many things. Thank you so much for joining me in my sewing room today. And until the next video, God bless. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell so that you never miss a video. And if you're returning, thank you so much. And if you have found value in this video, please like and comment.